Hi everyone, how are you? It's Tuesday, and here in New York, it's a beautiful day in New York City. The sun is out, the sky is blue. I've taken my wonderful dog Ziggy out for a short walk and moved my body so that I could just feel my body and feeling the body, feeling the mind, being, outdoors, smelling the air, seeing flowers blooming. These are all life affirming things. They're they're our environment. And part of being in this place of isolation and quarantine and social distancing is it maybe gives us an opportunity to look all around us and see the richness, see the richness of friendships, old and new, to see the richness of, I don't know, the flowers that are just starting to pop from the ground, and the richness of, oh, the smell, the scents, the aromas in the air, or dogs barking in the distance, or this morning outside our window we heard a multitude of birds chirping. They don't know what's going on, so they're going about their business. And usually in my busy day, and I'm sure in your busy day, we don't take the time to listen. So uh, I'd just like to welcome all of you and would love to hear what you've become more awakened to. Maybe it's a reaching out to an old friend, or maybe it's that you smelled a wonderful aroma in the air, or maybe you tried a new recipe, or maybe you did some exercise that you weren't expecting to do, or maybe you just allowed yourself to be in the silence. And that's okay too. My name, for those of you who don't know me, this is your first time here, I'd love to welcome you. Thank you so much for being here today. And my name's Edie Nathan, and I'm a psychotherapist and speaker and workshop leader. And actually, the the new thing that's going to be coming out starting next week, every Tuesday, I'm going to be sending out a wonderful newsletter with 5 tips. And it's easy to read, straightforward. I'm a big walker, so one of the topics is going to be walking thoughts. And when you're out there exercising, or you're just walking with a friend, or if you're just indoors, I'd love to know what you're thinking about. And I'll add those to my walking thoughts, and we can actually create a whole conversation just from this newsletter. It's contact, it's continuity, it's showing up all the best parts of you. So today I thought we'd talk about the self and the shadow. And I'm going to give you some one or two exercises. And so you might want to, at some point, get some paper or get your computer out, because it could really be helpful. And if not, just listen, because sometimes just listening is enough. And if that's the case, that's great. There's no right or wrong here. There's no, you got to do this. Just being here and being in the presence of others who are hungry for knowledge or community. Just keep writing to me and letting me know what you want to talk about, or what you're needing more of, or what you'd like to explore, and I'm happy to do that. So today, the self and the shadow. One of my favorite quotes is actually from Bruce Wayne, Batman, and what the the writers, of Bruce Wayne wrote, and this is a great quote of his, is, I guess we're all two people, one daylight and the one we keep in shadow. So what I'd love for you to do right now is, if you've decided to take out your computer and work on Word, or take out your notes, or you're just doing this on paper, which is always great. I love working with paper, actually, pen to paper, because I think our brains actually remember more. Anyway, so we've got, two people. We've got daylight, who you show to the world, and then shadow, maybe what you don't show to the world. Okay, so on the daylight, what you show to the world, who you show to the world, I'd like you to write down, who do you show up as? Are you powerful, positive, a go-getter? Are you a caretaker, a mother, a father, a parent, a grandparent, a healer, a hero? And needing to show up as, let's say, that hero, needing to show up as that good mother all of the time, and needing to look confident or happy or powerful or pristine or perfect, and maybe even showing up in this daylight role as maybe untouchable, or maybe really confident. So I want you to just take a moment and write all of those wonderful descriptive words down on one side. And then on the other side, the shadow side, is kind of what we hide. And that may be our vulnerability. Hard word for me today for some reason. It might be our fear. It might be I'm not so confident. It might be that you are lacking a sense of confidence, and though you act really, really confidently, your self-esteem is actually quite low. It might be that you're scared. It might be that you really want to leave your marriage or your partnership or the work that you've been doing. And those are all shadows. And they're the parts of ourselves that we might want to put away. But like that magnet that I've referred to a few times that I have on my fridge, it's a pirate's chest, and there's a little button, and you push it, and there's a big knock, 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 and it says, "Let me out of here." Well, when you start to look at the shadow, there's that knock. And that knock just keeps saying, "Let me out of here, let me out of here." So I'd like you just for a moment, if you're comfortable, and if not, then I'll tell you what else you can do. Close your eyes. And if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, do what I call a soft focus, which means just find a place somewhere on the floor or in the distance or a corner of a wall, and just imagine that you're walking down a beautiful, beautiful path. Beautiful. And you come upon a cave. Now, this cave is not a scary cave. It's cold, like caves are cold. And it's got a very dusty floor. And it's got alcoves. So you're going to walk into the cave, and there's enough light, ambient light, that it's not scary in that cave. So you're walking, and you see one of the alcoves or chambers within this cave, and you walk into this chamber. And there are two benches, and they're across from one another. and you see kind of a shadowy figure sitting on one of the benches. And you go and you sit across from that bench. And you say to that shadowy figure, I want to know you. And I want to understand your presence in my life. Because I understand, I know that I may have been avoiding some parts of you. And that avoidance has actually caused grief within me. A sense of loss because I stopped listening. And I have time now to listen. I have time now to maybe just listen to one aspect of you, Shadow. And Shadow comes back and says to you, what are you yearning for? Honestly. What are you hungry for? And what's missing? And it's the truth between you and me. And take in those questions and answer them for you and your shadow, for the daylight part of you, and so that your shadow stops being an unconscious place, but much more conscious, because our consciousness now is certainly being awakened. So you're in that cave and you're tapping in to an awakening. And now get up and thank your shadow. And shadow work is really hard. But it's something that you're doing for yourself as you now walk out of the cave. And your back right now is to the opening of the cave, and you turn around and just say thank you. Or say nothing at all. Or if you choose to, don't even turn around, just keep walking away. And whatever you do is right for you in this moment. But this is an exercise that you can do once a day. Bringing out and up the shadow. That which maybe you haven't had a chance to look at. And what this time of quarantine is doing is it's actually asking us to take a break from moving from all of our busyness to maybe deeper contemplation or listening, or even a breath. So the second exercise that I'd love to share with you is it's a really easy breathing exercise, and it's one part of a longer exercise. And right now, all I want you to do is close your eyes. That's right. Close your eyes. You're out of that cave, and you're back here in your body. And as you're closing your eyes, I'd like you to look up with your eyes closed. And then I want you to take in a breath as you're looking up and let it go. And another deep breath as you're looking up with eyes closed and let it go. That's right. And one more time, eyes closed, looking up, taking in a breath, and let it go. What did you notice in your body when you did this? And This is an exercise that is actually part of some self-hypnosis. And what you might find if you're having trouble sleeping at night, maybe because of the shadow that you're not looking at, that keeps on coming up. It's the fear that you want to put away, or the sense of vulnerability, or the sense of, I don't know what's next. And none of us do. That's the thing. We're all in it together in that way, not knowing what's next. This is an exercise that can actually soothe you. And it's the way that I put myself to sleep almost every night. By the time I do it 3 or 4 times, and again, this is a shorter version, I'm asleep. Deeply, deeply asleep. So today, we've talked about the self and the shadow, and an exercise that can really help you to maybe start to talk to some parts of that shadow that have been quiet or dormant or hidden. And then the breathing exercise, kind of a self-hypnosis at night. Today, I'd like you to contact 3 people. Maybe share the breathing exercise or some part of your shadow that was hidden. Share a funny memory that you had. And share something that's pissing you off. You've got the power. You've had it all along. And you've got this. You've got this. If you want a free version of one section of my book on the 11 phases of grief, all you have to do is email me. It's grief2@gmail.com, or go to my website, ednathan.com. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.